What I'm here for is to advocate for policies that give these guys more work. And 30 years ago, Margaret Thatcher and George Bush said, we need to address global warming. But their economic advisor said that's going to cost. And well, now the costs are getting greater and greater all the time. And the longer we delay taking action, the greater the costs will be. For example, Texas has had 3 500-year floods in 3 years. They're asking the taxpayers of the United States to give them $61 million to get ready for the next one. And yet they deny climate change pretty much, it seems like, down there. We need policies to accelerate the transition from fossil fuels. Solar panels are a big part of the solution. For example, our highest demand for electricity is in the summertime when we have the most sun. And that's when they burn the fossil fuels the most, 2 miles down that way at the natural gas power plant. And so, I don't know if solar panels can plug in all the holes, but they'll play a big part in the solution. And at the local level, I think we need 2 types of policies to accelerate the deployment of solar. We need policies that stop the banks and Wall Street from investing in fossil fuel infrastructure. For example, the city of Vancouver has banned new crude oil facilities. I would like to see them have a policy that banned new natural gas facilities. Once a capital investment is made in the wrong fuel, people can't easily change their mind 20 years later. If the Evergreen School District installs $50 million worth of natural gas heating systems next year with their bond measure, it's kind of hard for them to change their mind 20 years later and say, oops, we need to do something about global warming. So we need policies that stop those kind of investments. And we need to have policies to make solar more competitive with fossil fuels here. They already are more competitive than fossil fuels in places where it's more sunny, but we need it to happen here too. And so I advocate for a carbon tax and use the revenue to subsidize solar. On June 1 this year, the Portland City Council and the Multnomah County Council both passed the strongest climate action plans in the world. They established aspirational goals of being 100% fossil fuel free in all sectors by 2050, as much as possible. Staff there has now been directed to go figure it out. Develop a plan to get us there. I'm thinking step 1 of the plan is don't allow any more new gasoline stations to be built. But we're here for solar panels. So
I'll get up on that soapbox. We won't stop you.
Well, I was just telling Zach that if you had 12 solar panels, they would provide enough electricity for your electric car to go 12,000 miles a year. And I only have 3 solar panels, but so they're part of that conversation too. And I'm leading 3 campaigns, and I'd like help on any one of those campaigns that you'd like to help on. One is to get the city of Vancouver to adopt a climate action plan similar to Portland's. Now, the Vancouver City Council, Bart Hanson, is in charge of the solar program at the PUD. But he was saying, you're never going to get 100% fossil fuel free, so we need to go back to him and say, let's do as much as we can. Maybe not 100%, but as much as we can. So then we tax booze and we tax marijuana to reduce excess consumption and raise revenue for public purposes. I think we need to do the same thing with fossil fuels. The current solar jobs bill, which they might be speaking about, offers good incentives for installation of solar, but that's not enough. We need to make fossil fuels more expensive so that solar is more attractive. If we tax carbon pollution, we have one policy that does two things. It makes solar more competitive, and the revenue can be used for public benefits. The benefit I prefer is invest that money in clean energy economy. When we create our own energy, I think we're sending about $1 billion out of this state every couple months to buy natural gas from Canada. That money could stay in our own economy if we had solar panels. And we're sending money out of our state for global oil companies that we could keep right here, run our electric cars. So you're getting jobs, and you're getting clean energy quicker if you have that tax. And I think we need that tax, otherwise it's too late to deal with, we're not going to be able to deal with climate change any other way. I belong to the Alliance for Jobs and Clean Energy. We have 170 organizations in the state of Washington, led by the Washington State Labor Council and social justice organizations and the environmental groups. We'll begin collecting signatures hopefully in January or February to get 300,000 signatures for a ballot measure next fall for a carbon tax. We need 100 volunteers in Clark County willing to each work to get 300 signatures to get that on the ballot. And we've tried to go to the ballot with this a year or two ago, not me, but other groups have tried to go to the ballot, and they didn't have labor on their side. So if you don't have labor on your side, you're not going to have the Democrats on your side. And so that only got 41% of the vote last year. So now that we have 170 groups on our side, we think we have a better chance of getting that passed. So I've been a climate writer and organizer for 6 years, and the key to success is for like-minded people to work together. I have 4,000 names in my contacts, and I'm organizing 3 campaigns. If you'd like to help with any of them, I have some clipboards here with 3 campaigns you could sign up for. One campaign is to collect signatures for that ballot measure. Another campaign is to go to the city council and advocate for a climate action plan. And the other plan is to advocate for the Evergreen School Board to adopt a climate action plan that says we're not going to invest any money in fossil fuels, we're going to go all electric. So those are the 3 things I'd like help on if anybody's interested. Thank you.
Dawn, you spoke at, I don't know how many school board meetings. How many, Jim?
Well, that hasn't been my highest priority, so I've only been there about 5 times.
About 5 times. Are you getting any positive feedback at all?
Well,
and have you gone to Vancouver as well as Evergreen?
I've gone to the Vancouver one, and my next one will be the Evergreen School Board, because the first answer we got at the Vancouver School Board, I went there the day after they passed their ballot measure for $550 million, and the answer they gave me was, we promised the voters A, we can't give them B. And so now I want to get to the Evergreen School District before it goes to the ballot in next February. But what I try to do is, since I can't do as much as I would like to do, I try to delegate this. And I don't know if you know an attorney named Peter Fells, but he's trying to carry the ball with the Vancouver School District, and I'm meeting with them on December 14 with their facilities manager to have him say, well, we can't do it. but we don't know what he's going to say. But so I've only been there 5 times.
Okay.